Okay, so I got back from Kilimanjaro a couple of days ago, and I've not even unpacked yet. I thought it'd be a really good idea just to run through all the different things that I've packed and used on my trip, so that you guys can see whether it was any use or not really. So I'll start with what I travelled in. I travelled in a thermal base layer. I only packed one of these, well, we only wore one of these, which is a complete and utter mistake. Recommend two of these tops for when you're at the lower end of the peaks. It's nice and thin and cooling. Wish I'd done two of these. Shorts, I've got the zip-on bottom part for the trousers. Great for wearing in the airport. Obviously it means that you can wear them with legs on in England and then take the legs off when you get into Africa. Okay, moving on to hand luggage. I took a big digital SLR camera with a wide angle lens. It was heavy and hefty, but you only go up there once, so it was kind of worth taking that with me. I took two micro fleeces, both of them Westcomb. Actually, I ended up wearing one of them actually on summit day, so I don't think you necessarily need two. But I guess it depends how good your sleeping bag is and stuff. You might want to wear one at night, but I didn't actually wear this one at all. Head torch. Mine's an Energizer one, cost about 15 quid. Absolutely brilliant, highly recommended. Get yourself one. Well, you definitely need one actually for summit night, no other choice. That's just all my paperwork. Dollars, I took $300, $50 for the visa, $80 for tip. I think I tipped an extra $50 on top of that for people who I work with directly, who really needed it. I took an extra 4 photos, there's actually 5 there, for the visa, but those weren't needed when we got to Kilimanjaro Airport. I've got all my boarding passes and stuff in here, and my insurance, my travel insurance, which I took out with Snow Card. I think it was about £40. Passport. And this was something that a friend lent me. I think it cost about £80. Absolutely brilliant. It allowed me to video diaries every evening and just do some quick video. It does it in HD. Absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend one of those. Okay, so to get into my hand luggage, sorry, not my hand luggage, my main luggage. Let's run through some of this. This is my air bed, which one of my friends lent me. It's actually a dual air bed, in that it's got a top layer thing that you blow into and a base layer thing that you blow into. So it actually blows up fairly thick, which is great for keeping good temperature and stuff. Absolutely brilliant. Highly recommended that you get a good one of these. You're going to be sleeping on rocks some nights, and if you've got a good layer to sleep on, then it's going to add to the comfort. So definitely recommend that. Fleece lined hat. Didn't actually wear this. Took it as backup. I had my own hat anyway. And I think it was about -20 when we went up. So as long as you have a woolly hat, that should be good enough. This was the bag that my travel company gave me, KE Adventure. This was the thing that the porters carried up. It's fairly big. We had a 15 kilogram limit that we could put in it. I got to about 11 kilograms. It's fairly big, and I had loads of room left. Absolutely no problem whatsoever with that. This is my waterproof, Westcomb waterproof. I used it on the last night just as a wind blocker. It depends on whether it rains or not and whether you'd use it, but it was very good. This must be what I took up with me actually on the night. I've got some mints, some ibuprofen, sports bars. Recommend taking probably about 12 of those, just good for snacks in between, and some paracetamol, all the things that you need for altitude sickness, which I did get a little bit. Nothing really in that pocket, so yeah, you definitely need one of those. These waterproof bags I actually got from Decathlon. Where Decathlon? Oh, Sports Direct. Absolutely brilliant. I got a couple of different sizes, so I could carry different things. This one actually had my camera in it most of the time, and a couple of teddy bears that schools and primary schools wanted me to take pictures of. Don't forget those on summit night. These bags are brilliant. I think that cost about 15 quid. This one was about £5. This one was the one that was much more accessible. In this one, I've got things like, oh, I've put a toothbrush in here for travelling. Toothbrush, toothpaste, and hand wash, which you definitely want. What else have we got in here? Sun cream. Right, I only took a little one. Don't take a little one. Take a big one. Factor 50 as well. Don't forget you're on the equator. You're really high up, so there's not as much air. Really important. Take a big one. Not a rubbish little one like that. Blister packs. Didn't actually need to use. The pace was very slow, and I always carried a spare set of laces with me wherever I went. So that was really good as well. I actually ended up taking a 70 litre pack, even though it recommended only a 30 litre. I did that just because I know this pack really well and it's really comfortable, and that was really important to me, so I made sure I took something off that size. Oh, that's just a cover for, what's it? Batteries. Didn't actually get through too many batteries. I think if you took, well, obviously it depends on how much technology you take. I think I took a pack of 10. I think I went through about 4, so you don't really need that many of those. That's the bottom of my trousers in washing. Right, and in my bag we've got, this is a bubble jacket, which again my friend kind of lent to me. Mine didn't have a hood, a lot of people's did. I only used it on summit night. It's an Alp kit, I think it's a version 2. Really good. Definitely one of those for the cold temperature. Inside the camera case, I think I've got some bits and bats. I took a sat map, which my friend lent me, and I was so worried about batteries that after day 2 I didn't really use it that much. But what it did track was fantastic. If you want to take more batteries, great way of recording your travels. I was warned about the water and how good the water taste would be because they boil it all, but actually they had a water pump. I took Barocca, which is like an energy tablet thing, still full, didn't even use it. DEET, insect repellent. Don't take something over 100 millilitres because at the airport they'll take it off you. Don't worry too much, that happened to me. Walked straight into Boots at Manchester Airport, the first shop on the left hand side, and bought one that was even bigger. What else was in it? Just more tablets and a bit of rubbish in there. Book about Kilimanjaro, good read. Toiletry bag, I had a comb, didn't even use it. I took some Tiger Balm. Some people did use theirs, I didn't need to. two litre camel pack. Absolutely highly recommended. What you got to make sure of, don't let the nib touch the floor whenever you put your rucksack down, because it'll get infected. Buff, didn't use until summit night. Mine's got a fleece lining on the bottom. Very good. Thin layer of gloves, brilliant. Brilliant for keeping your hands covered when it's warm, stop your back of your hands getting burnt, which mine did, until I started wearing these gloves. Definitely get a pair of these, they're dead cheap. And then when you put your hot gloves on top, they make it even better. Earplugs, only if you're sharing a tent with somebody who snores. Luckily, my guy didn't too much, so it didn't really matter. Trek poles, up to you. Really useful on summit night and really useful coming down, especially the scree that we came down. Personally, I don't use them ever in the lakes and where I've walked, but definitely get yourself a set. I would say highly recommended. Good for the knees. Wet wipes. Don't want to talk about the toilet too much. It's a horrible, disgusting place. But when you do go to the toilet, don't expect it to be like come out like it does in the UK. Your diet's changed, and these are a little bit softer on your backside. Boots get covered in volcanic ash. Everything gets covered in volcanic ash and dust. Take carrier bags so the dust doesn't spread across all your equipment. Excuse me. Sleeping bag, 4 Seasons sleeping bag. Rick, my friend, lent it to me. It was absolutely brilliant. I was boiling hot on the first night because it was about 30 degrees or something ridiculous. But as we got higher and it got colder, this was fantastic. So make sure you get yourself a good sleeping bag. Trek towel, definitely recommend. You get a bowl of water every morning. You can wash your feet and your hair and your face and all that kind of stuff in. But if there's a bit of a wind chill going around, you want to get yourself dry as quickly as possible. Great little thing to have, not that expensive. That's my other boot. Nail brush, definitely. Your fingernails get full of, well, generally the dirt's so deep and in your pores at the end of the week. It takes a couple of showers to get it out, but you want to try and keep your nails as clean as possible. Highly recommend one of those, absolutely brilliant. Okay, into the bottom compartment just to look at my other clothes. Again, what I did was I kept all my clothes in one of these vacuum bags. Again, I got this from Decathlon. The other 2 bags are just waterproof bags. This one actually compresses your clothes together. I mean, obviously you're going to be walking around in creased clothes, but you know, you're not on a fashion parade, so I'll just very quickly run through what's in there. This is basically everything that I've taken pretty much now. This was an extra fleece that we just wore at the airport, just had our sponsor on the back. Don't really need that. This was the 1 micro fleece that I wore, another Westcomb one, absolutely fantastic. So you need 1 fleece, I would recommend. Westcomb, these are waterproof trousers, as you can see, they're very dusty and dirty coming down the scree. They're waterproof, they've got a slight fleece lining. These are what I wore from day 3. Before day 3 I was wearing my shorts, and those were the only 2 pair of trousers that I took the entire trek. Didn't really need any more. Underwear, we were there, I think it was a 10-day trip. I took 5 pairs of underwear and 5 pairs of socks, and just, yeah, I got through them all obviously. I can't remember what these are called, gaiters, didn't use. I guess you could, but I didn't. Woolly hat, definitely need that for summit night.